So somebody on Twitter had shared, here's your climate change floods. And in so many ways, that's the case. I've long been chatting about this for many years, and I'm not my own. It was so obvious. It's when they stopped, in no small way, clearing out the drains at the sides of many roads and streets. It was such a regular occurrence. But then you could also add to that. I mean, I was on a hangout earlier on today, and I said at some stage, does anybody else notice the lack of lightning that used to be in our lives, in the sense that I remember distinctly as a child growing up, even being taught this in primary school, by the way, lightning, get indoors, blah, 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 don't stand under a tree, blah, the usual, and yeah, get off the golf course. Because it was such a regular occurrence, and either before, well, generally before you had this, torrential rain that cleared the air. And sometimes what would happen is, say if it was, for example, particularly muggy, yeah, and then it would get sort of damp, and and then at some stage you knew there was going to be a thunderstorm, which would, pishing down with rain. I mean, torrential. And at some stage in amongst it, lightning. And then once it cleared up, there was this feeling, this sense of fresh air. And it really was quite cleansing. I'm not off on this some new age, shenanigans here. This was our experience growing up as Gen X, early Gen Xers in the 70s. And I did notice it started changing, probably yet again towards the late 80s into the 90s. But then, you started noticing more and more of these mobile masts, for the phones and all the rest of it. And yeah, if you're being honest with yourselves, and if you're old enough to remember, these thunderstorms usually coming along with lightning. Remember, you look at any church, for goodness sake. Lightning rods, all the rest of it, various buildings, because it used to be such a regular thing. Now, you could say, Scott, from what you're showing in front of us to where you are now, come on, get to the point. Well, the point is they were cleared regularly, these drains, because the downpours were far more torrential on a regular basis, and thus you needed clear drains to deal with it. Now we've got to validate climate change by not doing this. Yeah, hence one of the main reasons why there is so much flooding. Look around you if you have a doubt. Oh, come on, Scott. Really? Take a wander around your town and spot how many of these things are blocked up. And if you're going to start saying, but councils, but it's not a coincidence. Seriously. I could go into more detail, but I wouldn't have thought it was rocket science, to be honest. And I'll speak to you soon.